Welcome to the latest instalment in my Bass Lick of the Week series. Before we dive into the line itself, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, so this week's bass lick is a slap and pop line that uses a more advanced slap technique, and that is the double thumbing technique. And that's where the thumb is used to play downstrokes and upstrokes in the same manner that you might use a plectrum. And it's something that was popularised by Victor Wooten back in the 90s, and it's become a really important part of the slap bass technique ever since. Okay, so let's take a look at what happens in the first bar. We're going to play this line. Okay, so we're going to dive straight in and start using the double thumbing technique. So we're going to be playing on the A string, we're going to be playing 2 Bs and 2 C sharps. So all 16th notes. Now this is done, as I said, with the double thumbing technique. And what you're going to be needing to do with the double thumbing is allowing your thumb to pass through the strings. And you're going to be using a different part of the thumb, really. So whereas with conventional slap bass, you'd be using the edge of the knuckle bone there. When you're playing with the double thumbing technique, you're going to be aiming more towards the top corner of the thumb. Just allowing your thumb to pass through the string and then strike it again on the upstroke. Very much like a plectrum. Now, if you want further instruction on the double thumbing technique, do head over to the Bassline publishing website. There are 3 entire courses devoted to the double thumbing technique, so loads of help there if you should need it. But that's the basic element of the technique. So, as I said, on beat 1, we're playing 2 Bs and 2 C sharps. Moving into the second beat, we're going to move on to the D string and play 2 Es. We're going to follow that by coming down to the low G. Just play 1 note on that G. And then on beat number 3, got that open E, ghost note, and then the open E again. That's our first bar. And if you've never used the double thumbing technique before, that can take a little bit of getting used to. In fact, it can take quite a lot of getting used to because it's a way in which you probably wouldn't have used your thumb before. So take your time with this bar and just get comfortable with this one before you move on to the next one. In the second bar of the line, we're going to continue using the double thumbing technique, and we're going to play this. So we're playing a line that moves from the C sharp, 2 notes on the C sharp, 2 on the D, 2 on the D sharp, and then 2 on the E. So we're just playing this kind of chromatic line, 2 notes on each one. And I'm just using the finger per fret system here. We're going to move on to the G on the D string on the third beat. So down and up on the G, up, and then come down to the E. Now you probably saw what I did then. My thumb snagged under the string. That's one of the main dangers of using the double thumbing technique. If the string to body distance at the end of your fingerboard is quite high, your thumb is likely to slip under the strings and then snag when you come to do the upstroke. That's one of the things that you really want to watch out for when you're using the double thumbing technique. It's all about getting the right touch so you don't snag up too much. You'll see that some players, myself included on certain instruments, use what's called a ramp, a kind of perspex plate that just lowers the string to body distance at this part of the instrument, so your thumb can't so easily go under the string and snag up under it, which is what you saw me do just a moment ago. So as I was saying, play those 2 Gs and then come back onto the E, just 1 on the E when we come back. And then we play just conventional slaps on the D and the E again. First couple of bars. Now once you get those together, you've really conquered the exercise, because the rest of it is pretty much based on what we've just done. The third bar is the same as the first, and then in the fourth bar we're going to play the first 3 beats the same, and then on the fourth beat of the bar we're going to play this this pair of notes. It's going to be a popped C sharp, it's going to be the 6th fret of the G string, and then we're going to play we're going to slap the G at the 5th fret of the D string. And if those notes ring together briefly, as I was doing a moment ago, that's not the end of the world. That's going to sound quite funky at that point. Okay, so a fairly challenging line here with a technique that you might not have encountered before. It's by no means an essential part of the slap bass technique, but if you can get into using the double thumbing technique, it can open up a lot of different avenues for you and allow you to play lines that are significantly more complex, lines that you would maybe play with the plectrum or play with your fingers. You might now be able to play using the slap technique, using this style of playing. It can be it can open up the technique a great deal for you, should you wish to do that. Okay, so yeah, thanks for working through this bass lick with me. It just remains for me to talk briefly about the tone that I used when I recorded this. I'm using the usual bass, GB Spitfire, 2 single coil pickups, volume tone. In this instance, I wanted a bit more of an old school slap sound, so I'm just going to be using the neck pickup here. I've turned the bridge pickup all the way down, so I'm just using the neck pickup. Tone control is all the way up, and that's giving me a nice kind of old school slap sound that works really nicely for this kind of line. Thanks for checking out the latest instalment in my Bass Lick of the Week series. If you'd like to download the PDF worksheet and audio files for this exercise, just click on the link in the description below. And if you enjoyed this lesson, please head over to basslinepublishing.com to check out my full range of video courses. Okay, I'll see you next week for another bass groove.